Hey everybody, welcome back to JT Channel, and welcome to my picks and predictions for the 2025 Royal Rumble event. Just a few days away now. I said on Sunday during my Saturday night's main event review that I would get to it this week, but I figured now is as good a time as any. I'm pretty sure the card is set. That was my only setback, was I was like, what if they add another match? Well, they did on SmackDown, and I don't see them adding another one unless this event is going to go on for as long as an AEW pay-per-view. If you know, you know. So we're just going to dive into it. I'm just going to tell you who I want to win, like who I pick, and then my prediction, who I think is actually going to win. And some of it's going to be the same, but sometimes there's going to be a little crossover where one might say one thing and might mean another, or I might say I pick somebody to win, but I may not think they're going to win. I may see which direction WWE is going to go. We're going to start with the most recent match on the card, which is the 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team titles. I think they're just the WWE tag team titles, the ones on SmackDown. DIY against the Motor City Machine Guns, which is Ciampa and Gargano against Sabin and Shelley. These are two of the best teams in the world, 4 of the best wrestlers in the world, and not just right now, ever. You know, you could argue that any of the singles matches would be great. They are great. We've seen them. And the tag matches have been awesome. My picks and predictions for this... Sorry, background stuff. It's both the Motor City Machine Guns. Well, the pick for sure is the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm just such a big fan of them. And I think it would be nice for them to win back the titles on such a big stage from a massive stadium. I think it's Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, which is where like 3 different major events are taking place this year, other than WrestleMania. So that's going to be cool for them. 50, 60,000 people, which I think is easily the biggest crowd they've ever performed in front of. I'd have to go look that up if they did something somewhere else. But that's the thing about WWE. You know, the Guns were really good in like TNA and overseas and all that, where they're used to smaller crowds. Not that Japan or anything like that has small crowds, but WWE is where they sell out 50, 60, 70,000 people stadiums. So I think that'd be good for them. Not that it wouldn't be good for DIY, and that's where my prediction comes in. I'm having a hard time with this prediction. Originally, I came onto this video kind of dead set that I'm pretty sure they're going to win. I'm no longer 100% just because I can see them giving DIY the retention and then maybe building to something at WrestleMania as well. Maybe they'll do that match at WrestleMania anyway, who knows. But I do think they'll win as well. I am going to go ahead and just stamp my prediction on the Motor City Machine Guns. They are my picks and my predictions. It's 2 out of 3 falls, which in WWE you don't see a whole lot, but in NXT it was such a big thing. It was the thing that ended a lot of feuds. You can go back and watch tons of 2 out of 3 falls matches, especially in the tag team division. I think DIY and FTR had like one of the best tag team matches ever in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So that's where I'm standing with that. I think the match will be epic. I think when it comes to in-ring, it might be the match of the night. It'll probably get 5 stars and in the Observer. Not that anybody cares about the Observer. I'm just saying it's going to be really good, and I do believe the Machine Guns are going to regain their championships, and that's who I want to win as well. For the record, I'm not going to care who wins. Like, if DIY wins, I'm not going to get mad, but that's who I'm going to be rooting for, is the Guns. Like I said, there's only 4 matches on the card, so we're going to jump right to the World Championship match, or I guess the undisputed WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, in a ladder match. This one's hard when it comes to my pick, because I really wanted Kevin Owens to be champion at some point during this feud, just because I think it would have been nice on several different levels. It would have shown that, you know, while Roman Reigns held the championship for a lifetime and a half, Cody isn't you know, he's not Roman Reigns, and he would have won it back. And I'm not saying, I realize how that came out. I'm not saying Cody isn't as good as Roman. I'm not saying he can't hold the title like Roman can. Cody Rhodes is the most over person in the entire company. Point, period, end of conversation. But Kevin Owens deserves a major championship reign, and this would have been perfect if they would have just let Kevin win at like Saturday Night's Main Event, the last one, not the most recent one, the one before. He could have held the title until now, until the Rumble, and they could have done this ladder match, and Cody could have won it back, and nobody would have batted an eye. However, I do think, as far as predictions go, obviously Cody is going to win. They're not going to give Kevin the WWE Championship right now, not the Royal Rumble. They're going to set up WrestleMania at the Royal Rumble. So Kevin's going to lose. My assumption is that Sami Zayn isn't going to show up and help, and that's going to lead to Sami and Kevin hopefully having a match at WrestleMania. That's my prediction. That's a huge prediction. I'm not just predicting the winner of the match. I'm predicting all the way down to Mania. That's what I want to happen. That's also kind of my pick, is I want Owens and Zayn to do something at WrestleMania. And I think they started that tease last week when he was like, oh, hey, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. And Kevin's been wearing that Sami Zayn Forever shirt. So I do believe that's the direction we're heading. So my prediction is Cody Rhodes. My pick is Cody Rhodes. I love Cody Rhodes. I always love Cody Rhodes. I wish Kevin could have won the title at some point, and he could have lost it at the Rumble, because I really just don't see him winning it at the Rumble. And that's not really what I want either. I want Cody Rhodes to survive Kevin Owens and then come out on top and then look forward to what happens at WrestleMania. So now we get to move on to the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches. We'll start with the women's, and I'm going to say this for both Royal Rumbles. As far as my pick, to use the home improvement noise, it's so hard. Both Rumbles are so stacked this year, and you could make genuine arguments for a lot of people to win it. When I did my Saturday night's main event review, which you should check out if you haven't, I have cheap plugging my own videos here, I said that there's even an argument for Nia Jax. And I know there's a lot of fans out there that are reaching through the screen to strangle me right now, but Nia Jax is in the best form she's ever been in, and her best shape she's ever been in. This is the best version of Nia Jax. And she could win the Royal Rumble, and it would work, because she's such a good heel. It's not like Hulk Hogan heat, where people just hate the motherfucker. This is heel heat now. She's actually a good heel. And we haven't had a really good heel victory in a Royal Rumble recently. Talk about alliteration. And I think that'd be good. She's not my pick. I'm just saying there's even an argument for someone that people have disliked for many, 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 many years. When she returned, people were just mad that she was back. But she, different conversation for a different day. Maybe we'll do a video on that. There's arguments for Charlotte Flair, who has announced her return. There's arguments for Bianca Belair. There's arguments for Bayley to win 2 in a row, which, no woman has ever done. So that'd be really cool. And, what could she do this year? We got Rhea Ripley as champion, Tiffany Stratton as champion. She's also been feuding with Roxanne Perez on NXT. So, yeah, there's plenty of arguments out there as to who should win this year's Royal Rumble. My pick for the 2025 Royal Rumble Women's is Bianca Belair. That would make her the first ever woman to win 2 Royal Rumbles. And that could lead to a Bianca-Rhea match, which... hook it to my veins immediately. They always have good chemistry. It's 2 strong, powerful women. They'll beat the hell out of each other. They'll probably get plenty of time, all that. I'm not saying you couldn't do Bianca and Tiffany Stratton. It just doesn't work as well, in my opinion. And I do believe we're going to do Charlotte and Tiffany at WrestleMania. And that's where my prediction comes in. Because while my pick is Bianca Belair, my prediction is Charlotte Flair. They have been really pushing Charlotte's return hard, and I think that WWE is going to let her win the Rumble. It's something that Charlotte, of all people, hasn't been really featured much, and I understand why. It's because of an injury and stuff, but for her to be outside of the main title picture, and I think it's the same thing, unless I'm mistaken, Charlotte Flair won the 2020 Women's Royal Rumble. Sorry, the reason I zoned out there is because I was actually having trouble remembering the 2020 Royal Rumble. So, anyway, Charlotte also falls into that same category as Bianca, and she's such a huge star. And she will always be a huge star. People don't like her for stupid-ass reasons, in my opinion. And I think she is going to be the one that WWE pushes to win the Royal Rumble. To get to Charlotte and Tiffany, or Charlotte and Rhea. They could do that, too. And they could do Charlotte against anybody, so... There you have it. I'm sorry if I seemed like I was out of it there, but I was really trying to get my brain to remember who won all the women's Rumbles. My pick is Bianca Belair, and my prediction is Charlotte Flair. Now, as far as surprises and stuff go, I thought I'd kind of dive into that for both Rumbles as well. Obviously, Charlotte's going to be there. It's not really a surprise, but what number she's going to be is going to be a surprise. I also definitely hope that Becky Lynch is going to be back as well. she's one of my favorites of all time. The only reason she's not my pick is because I don't think she needs it right now. Other surprises, I wouldn't be too surprised to see like Jordynne Grace would be a big one. It would be nice to see like Alexa Bliss. People have been talking about AJ Lee and maybe other surprises from TNA. I know a lot of people don't want spots taken out of the Royal Rumble, but it's the Royal Rumble. Who actually cares? If the person you wanted in the Rumble isn't in it, like, let's talk about, I'm not trying to say that they don't deserve it, but let's talk about like the Pure Fusion Collective. I love Shayna Baszler, I love Zoe Stark, and I've always loved Sonya Deville, but sorry, there's background stuff going on. That's why I'm speeding through this. Let me slow down. I like all the people in the Pure Fusion Collective, but none of them are going to win this year's Royal Rumble. So if you want to replace one of them with a surprise from TNA like Rosemary, who I've been a massive fan of for an incredibly long time, that would be really cool. You know, throw a few more bones to the TNA roster. And I think that'd be good for everybody. You know, they'll get decent reactions and everything. As far as the other surprises, like I mentioned, AJ Lee and Alexa Bliss, I don't know. I don't want them to come back unless there's a plan. That's my opinion. Like, I love AJ Lee, but I just don't want her to come back and do nothing. A one-off would be still cool. It's like when, like, Michelle McCool, ironically, does her yearly Guess Who's Here thing. But I would rather see people like AJ Lee back more permanently. Same with Alexa Bliss. She would be back more permanently. On to the men's Rumble now. I'm going to try to get through this without having to pause the video every 18 seconds. So my pick and prediction for this one is the same, and it's not going to make a certain corner of the internet very happy because I think it's going to be CM Punk. My pick is CM Punk. My prediction is CM Punk. I do have some caveats when it comes to the prediction part. I'm picking CM Punk because why not? I know that sounds stupid, and again, for Punk haters, they're going to be like, oh, because he sucks. But CM Punk is obviously older now. He's entered that upper echelon of people who have been doing this for a while, and he has the respect of his peers and yada, yada, yada. And he never got to do that before. He never won the Royal Rumble. I say we go ahead and give it to him. Now's the perfect time. He's way up there when it comes to superstardom. He's beloved, and I personally would love to see CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. That's why it's my pick. That is like I said, pick is just personally what I want. And yeah, especially after last year's Royal Rumble, the whole I didn't come back to lose to Dusty's Kid and all that. I think the promos would be absolutely brilliant. I think that the lead up, they could both do a ton of stuff together on the way to the Rumble, and it wouldn't take away from, or to WrestleMania, I mean, and it wouldn't take away from the WrestleMania match. It could end night 2, and I think plenty of people would be behind Punk, plenty of people would be behind Cody. I think it would do really well. That's the match for me personally. Not that I don't want to see like CM Punk and Gunther, but I just don't think it's as big, especially when you win the Royal Rumble, especially after the last couple of Royal Rumbles with how big we made those matches. As far as my prediction being CM Punk, my main prediction is CM Punk. It's hard to tell because there's all these rumors, and I don't buy into the rumors because WWE knows what they're doing. They know that if the rumors get out there, that people will talk about it. People are talking about John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. People are talking about Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. And those are both fantastic matches. Cena, if John Cena wins the Royal Rumble, he has to win the title at WrestleMania. That's just how I feel. That would be his third Rumble win, which makes him only the second person to ever do that behind Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's not how Stone Cold sounds. And then he would have to win the title to break the Ric Flair record or tie it or whatever the hell the scenario is. I don't even remember anymore. So he'd have to do all of it. And I'm not saying I'm against that. I'm a huge John Cena fan, especially right now. But that's not really what I think WWE is going to do. And as far as the CM Punk versus Roman Reigns rumors, if that's what WWE does, that's what WWE does. This Rumble comes with the same issue that the Women's Rumble does. You could say Cena, you could say Punk, you could say Drew, you could say Sammy, you could say Rollins, you could say Roman Reigns, you could say The Rock, you could say all these names, and nobody would argue with you. And that's a good thing. Hell, you could even say Sheamus. I've seen an idea pitched recently and I don't know if I mentioned this at Saturday Night's Main Event or not, and during that review, but an idea pitched recently where Sheamus announces himself for the Royal Rumble and says, when I win, fella, I'm going to go after the Intercontinental title, break all the rules. And obviously he wouldn't win, but again, that's a good side story. Drew McIntyre is Drew McIntyre. You know, he's been at the top of his game for many, many years now, and he's already won a Rumble. Who else did I mention? Sami Zayn. The Sami Zayn one really only makes sense if Kevin Owens is to win the WWE title. Not that Sami versus Cody wouldn't be great, or Sami versus Gunther. Remember, they had a banger last year when Sami took the IC title off him. You could just tell that exact same story. Would kind of be boring to tell the same story twice, but would it be? Not exactly what we did with Cody and Roman. Roman Reigns, he wins the Rumble. We do Cody Roman 3. Would anybody really argue that? There's that small corner of the internet of losers that complain about everything, but we could do that as well. There's too many arguments. But I do believe WWE is going to finally pull the trigger with CM Punk, and that's why it says my pick and prediction. And we're going to get Cody versus CM Punk as the main event of WrestleMania 41, which is going to do really good. How does that match go? I can't tell you. Does Punk win the big one at WrestleMania? Maybe, maybe not. That's another conversation. That's another predictions video. And I'll end it by talking about who I think are going to be the surprises. I've already thrown in The Rock. I don't think he's going to be surprised if he doesn't win the Rumble, if that makes any sense. He's too big of a star. And if he doesn't win the Rumble, who does he get thrown out by? Maybe he gets thrown out by Roman Reigns. Maybe that's how we get to that match finally. Maybe The Rock shows up, big surprise, oh my God, but then he's tossed by Roman Reigns, and that leads to the Roman Rock match we've always wanted. Other surprises, I believe there might be one from TNA. Yeah, that's me being lame as hell. I do think we're going to see Joe Hendry. He's the new TNA World Champion, which is huge for him. Good for him. Awesome. Go Joe Hendry. I always believed. But I think we'll see Joe Hendry. I personally would like to see Jeff Hardy. I made this a post recently where I said Jeff Hardy and Joe Hendry could be the only surprises, and both those reactions would register on the Richter scale. I mean, could you imagine? God, I'm trying to be Jeff Hardy and Joe Hendry. But seriously, I think those are two names that we could see at the Rumble. Maybe some other TNA names. I know Josh Alexander's contract just came up. PCO. I wouldn't put PCO in the Royal Rumble. I don't know what kind of reaction he would get. But his contract's up. And this crossover, you could do 1,000,001 things and nobody would care. Sami Callihan is a name that just popped in my head. That would be insane. Santino Marella. For those of you who don't know, Santino Marella is the general manager of Impact Wrestling, TNA, whatever. You could bring him back. I think he would get a massive reaction from fans like me who remember him. I can't think of any other major surprises off the top of my head right now. Maybe you throw Uncle Howdy in the Rumble. I don't know. That would be kind of cool to see. But overall, both Rumbles look really, really good. I think we're in for some treats. I really do. There's a few people that think the last two Royal Rumble events haven't been that good under Triple H. I don't think they've been bad. I think they could be better for sure. And I think this year we're going to get that. We're going to get some really good stories, really good moments. And yeah, my picks for the Rumbles are Bianca Belair and CM Punk. My predictions are Charlotte Flair and CM Punk. So thank you everybody so much for joining me. I love doing these videos. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Who are you rooting for in the Rumbles? Who do you think is going to win in the Rumbles? The tag match, the world title match, all that stuff. If there's another match added to the card for some reason, I'll throw out a short video, either an actual short or a video like this, where I'll just kind of throw my prediction out there. But anyway, like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment down below who you think's going to win everything. And obviously on Sunday you will get my reaction to the Royal Rumble. And we'll see how we feel then. But until next time, this is JT Channel. I am JT. What is going on today? I am JT. Enjoy the Royal Rumble this weekend, and I will see you next time.